Well, a soft border is certainly making it very hard for us to get anyone, including the bad guys. And this coming from the head of the Government Immigration Union. Meanwhile, the White House continues to say it's not such a big problem, to Republican New Hampshire Senate hopeful Scott Brown, who says it's a very big problem. As we always do, we place a call to his challenger, the incumbent Senator Shaheen. We've yet to hear a response, but again, as I say, hope springs eternal. But again, if we didn't talk to people because other people wouldn't talk, we didn't have to talk to anyone. I'd have to show you family slides of me at the beach, and that would not be a good idea. So to Scott Brown now. Senator, what do you make of this border situation? Because the administration now is clearly trying to say that, all right, we're aware it's a porous border. We're not taking the extra leap to say it's a crisis situation. How do you define it?
Well, I've been on this issue since day one. I voted to send troops to the border. My opponent, Senator Shaheen, has not. We need to close the border once and for all. And the people, the American people, deserve better from our president because to have him continue with the spin that says that hey, it's not that big of a deal when we have information from our own Homeland Secretary that says, you know what, there may be some issues. And we have already heard that we have U.S. citizens fighting for ISIS, potentially upwards of 300, who want to come home. And actually, they're not coming home, Neil, to buy houses with white picket fences. They're coming home to change our way of life, hurt or kill us. So as you know, I filed a bill a couple of times, a bipartisan bill with Senator Lieberman. Senator Cruz just filed that bill to strip that citizenship from those individuals who we know for a fact have left their citizenship at the door. It was blocked yesterday. Senator Shaheen acquiesced in that effort. We need to secure the border, make sure that our citizens are safe and secure. The federal government has an affirmative obligation to do that. And then we need to take a step, a very serious step, in stripping that citizenship so they can stay there with their new friends.
What I worry about, Senator, those who are already here and they haven't left yet, or they're doing something, God knows what, and we've seen that come up not only in a number of cases in towns and cities in this country, but in a number of incidents in Britain, in France, in Spain, that there's a network of these guys all over the place. What do we do?
Well, we have to be obviously vigilant and diligent in addressing and keeping our eyes and ears open. Unfortunately, there is good news that we have people who care about our country and that we live in the greatest country in the world. And people need to work together to make sure that those rights and liberties are protected. So if you see something that doesn't make sense, you need to really speak up. We need to provide our law enforcement with the tools and resources to do their jobs, our Homeland Security folks, to make sure that they do their jobs. But it all starts, we can talk all we want, we can put as many dollars as we want into it, but we have to secure the border. And that's a very clear difference between me and many other people on the other side of the aisle. I want to secure the border. I voted to secure the border. I voted to send troops there. I don't support the DREAM Act when we're providing additional incentives for people to come here illegally. And to think that we may have people here, it's naive to think that we don't have people in our country that want to hurt and change our way of life. So we have to be ever diligent and vigilant.
Do you wonder, though, after the midterms, I know you want to see yourself elected senator, that the president will go ahead, whether Republicans take the Senate or not, and by executive order, go ahead and grant amnesty for what could be millions?
Of course I'm concerned about it. It's something that I have been opposed to from the beginning. We can't have that green light, that neon sign saying, send your kids here, don't follow our laws, and by the way, you're going to be rewarded with EBT cards and preferential housing.
So you think, well, he's just put that off by putting it off
people who are following our laws. What do we tell those folks, Neil?
Okay, but in other words, the president, when he had said that and told those closest to him, I'm going to put off a decision until after the election, he's just postponed it. He's still going to do it. All indications are it's just right after the election. If you get elected senator and Republicans somehow take the Senate, even though there are now polls out that say that it's going to be a leap, but let's say that happens. What are you going to do? What would you do to try to reverse that order, challenge that order? What?
Yep. Anything and everything that's legally able to be done to reverse and stop that policy. That's what I would do. Whether it's using the bully pulpit, allowing people like you and others to be part of the process, allowing the citizens of New Hampshire and every other state to be part of that process. Send that message right now to the president and to all of the people that are supporting those policies, like Senator Shaheen and every other Democrat running who are supporting those enhanced policies by circumventing, quite frankly, our Constitution and the rules and regulations that we have dealing with immigration. You have to send that very powerful message. The number one message you can do is taking over the Senate. Then we can mount legal challenges, hold the hearings. God, I'll do anything and everything I can do to make sure that we push back against that failed policy. And that's the difference between me and many other people running in this country, especially Senator Sheen. And Neil, as you know, if people want to help, they can go to scottbrown.com.
Okay. Thank you very, very much, Senator. Always good seeing you. Senator Sheen, of course, the invite is always out there. In the meantime,